Hello and welcome to my first podcast. Yay! Not really, but I just needed like an excuse to record myself and to do a voiceover for this video because I think that it is too long. It lasts like 22 minutes, something like that. And I think that without a voice, it can be a little challenging to watch. But if you like just like the to watch processes of doing some art pieces, you are more than welcome to mute me and to put something in the background. Um, yeah, so I thought that this was going to be a good opportunity for me to introduce myself because I think that I haven't done that in any of my previous videos. And I think it's time. It's time for you to know a little bit more about me, about who you are watching right now. And yeah, I just wanted to talk more about that and about some of the plans that I have for next year because it's going to be a little bit more chaotic than this year. And I hope you enjoyed this long video that it's just about my Peachtober process, about how I did the pieces. It's really a compilation of reels that I needed to put here on YouTube because I forgot to put them on shorts. Yeah, that's my excuse. So first of all, and before I forget, I think that I need to introduce myself because I always forget to introduce myself. So my name is Blanca Flor, which means white flower in English. Blanca means white and flor means flower. But if you want to actually translate to white flower, you have to say flor blanca in Spanish. So that's how I came up with my artist name. I just took my names and kind of reversed them, but I thought about what name I wanted to use, about which name I wanted to use as an artist for a long time, even though it doesn't seem like that. Because before I started to use Flor Blanca as my artist name, I used to go by Yume. And Yume was the name I used when I was doing fan art. I don't do fan art anymore. So that's why I decided to change my name. And it still feels like me. So it is closer to what I do now. So I just wanted to relate my name to another side of me. So that's why it's my name, just like in different order. And as you've noticed, English is not my first language. It is not. I'm actually from Mexico, so Spanish is my first language. And why am I recording this in English? I also don't know. I think that it is audacious from me, but I just wanted to reach more people. That's why I'm making all of my content in English because right now I'm living in another part that it is not Mexico. I'm actually living in Germany. So I think that because algorithm and things that socials make you do, I think that it is better for me if I started to record or to share my content in English. And also, you have to know that as it is not my first language, I may make some mistakes along the way. So I'm so sorry for that. I'll try to do my best. I think that my English is pretty good enough so I can communicate with people, so I can, get my point across. And I know that my grammar sucks. That's one thing. And I think that sometimes I just forget about the words, about vocabulary and stuff. So I sometimes just stumble and stutter with my English. Uh, I promise you that I'm more intelligent in Spanish. I'm taking this phrase from the show Modern Family when Sofia Vergara is like, I think that she's frustrated and she's talking and she's just like saying that you don't know how intelligent I am in Spanish or something like that. Yeah, well, I am too. I think that I have a better diction in Spanish. Maybe not. I just forgot everything because I speak English and Spanish, and I get my languages mixed up. I also started to study in Japanese like a few. No, I started to learn Japanese some years ago, like 8 years ago, something like that. Almost 10 years ago. But I stopped studying for about 3 or 4 years, and I just retook my studies last year. So yeah, my mistake. I lost time, and I have to make up for it because I really want to get better with my Japanese. And almost at the same time that I was studying Japanese, I think that I started, and then like 4 or 5 years later, I started to learn Korean. So yeah, I also know a little bit more about Korean, but I think that my Korean is it's worse than my Japanese. I still can read it. I still can understand something like so many simple things. And if you ask me, I think that Korean is easier to study because Japanese has three alphabets, but with pronunciation, I think Japanese for me is easier because I speak Spanish. So they are kind of phonetic wise, they are kind of similar. But Korean phonetics are difficult, but to read them, it's easier, I think. So each language has its own difficulty, but yeah, my Korean is worse. And also, last year, I started to learn German because I am living in Germany. So I need to know German. If I want to make a life here, I think that it is important for me to know the language. So next year, I'll be attending proper classes, and it's going to be intensive courses. So that's why it's going to be chaotic next year. I think that I need to make like a really good plan so I don't get lost along the way, because I'm going to be taking 5 hours in the day, like classes. So it's going to be a long time of my day. So it's going to be like going back to school once again, and yeah, so it is something that I have to do. Mainly, I mean, of course, I want to know the language because it is important. If you are living in another country, it is important that you can communicate with people and that you know the language. Um, but also because kind of it is kind of an obligation. The government is asking me to do that. I don't know if the government per se, but yeah, I need to, because of my visa requirements. I need to take the course, and I am glad to take it because it's going to help me in my future endeavors. Endeavors? I don't know how it's it called. I think that it's a French word. Anyways, but it is important for my future life here that I learn the language. And I'm so excited yet so scared because I think that my other languages are just going to get worse. But anyways, it's something that I really need to do if I want to keep this art journey here in the new place that I'm living, because I want to attend some conventions that take place here in Germany. First of all, my main goal is to go to Dokomi and to have my own table. um, that's going to be a long ride. I'm not going to apply yet. I'm going to wait until I have like a better or a proper art style. That's what I want to do, and I need to speak the language if I want to attend, because even though there's a lot of people from different places visiting that convention, I think that speaking in German, it's going to be a kind of plus. I don't know. Let's see. But yeah, so I want to attend some conventions, and not also that. I also want to go to other different kind of conventions that take like in other countries, because if I learned something this year was that with this with me changing countries, with living in another country, my my knowledge of conventions just expanded. So one of the other conventions that I want to attend is called the Soul Fair Illustration. So that's a convention that takes place in Korea, and that is like a massive convention for illustrators. I don't know if you've seen already like some videos of that convention. There are a lot of videos on YouTube that you can watch, like people just walking through the alley. Um, and it is amazing. There's a lot of really beautiful and pretty art, and I just want to go there as at attendee, and I want to be an artist there. So yeah, that's another convention that I want to go, that I want to attend. And my Korean can be helpful, because you can go with English, but Korean people, I think that are kind of shy sometimes. Even though if you tell them that you speak Korean, I think that it's going to be also something challenging for them to approach your stand. But I think that speaking Korean can be useful. So yeah, I also need to practice my Korean. Anyways, but that's another convention that I want to go. And I also want to attend another convention in Singapore. I don't know right now the name, but there's also a big convention there. And yeah, I can't wait to start doing merch because I like to do merch. And I have so many ideas for my own characters. Like I want to do some transparent sticker sheets, and also I want to do some washi. I love washi tapes, and I also want to start developing like a little cartoon with my OC, because if there is something that I'm proud of that I did this year, was to develop my first original character. That it is a bunny. It still hasn't like have a name yet. I need to name it. I'm so bad with names, but I need to name it so I can develop it more. But I want to take my bunny and I want to do like different poses, and that's also a part where I am inspired by Korean art, because they have like this many. They are not pets, but they are like mascots for different brands, and they do like a lot of things with those mascots. Like you can see, there's a really famous one that I don't know if you know, the Line Store. In the Line Store, they have like this group of characters, and there's really this one that it's really famous. That it's called Chunshik. It's a cat, and it became really popular like a couple years ago. I think that they developed it in the pandemia. I don't know, when we were on lockdown. I think that that's the first appearance of that character. I'm not sure. Maybe it appeared like a long time ago, but it's really popular in Korea, and they have like a lot of merch from this character. It's really cute. It's really pretty, and they develop like these collaborations with other characters, and they have like these collaborations where they dress like each other. So it's really pretty. It's really, I don't know, but with this character they have like merch almost every week, like new merch almost every week. Of course, I'm talking about um, a big, how is it called, enterprise. I don't know. It's a big store. So of course there's a lot of marketing and a lot of ideas and so on, and it's really 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 popular in Korea. And I also want to try to do that with my little bunny, because I think that I can do it. I am ambitious enough, so I think that I can do it. Of course, I'm I don't want to develop like that big of brand with my own character, because there's also another part of me that want to do art with watercolors and more about prints and more about just like telling like these kind of stories in one picture. I want to do something like what Heikala does, that I really love her work. It's really inspiring for me. I love the colors, I love the aesthetic, I love the how she portrays this connection between human and nature, and I also love the fantasy theme she puts in her work, and it's really beautiful. So another part of me wants to explore that part, not just like the merch part, but that's what I'll be working on next year, because even though I want to have like these two different art styles, kind of art styles, I don't know if I can find a way to complement each other. Because, of course, I want people to watch my art and relate it to me. So I don't know if having like these two different paths, it's going to make it a little bit or more confusing to people to relate it to me. Also, it's going to confuse the algorithm in Instagram, probably. I don't know. I already gave up on social media. It's a lot of work. Um, but yeah, that's something that I have to think of. But for now, I'm just having fun. I just want to develop my characters more. I'll try to keep on practicing in my full bodies, because even though I started to draw some full human bodies in Peachtober, I feel like I still have to study more my proportions. I think I did a good job. I think I can get much better. Also, I think it's time for me to start applying some kind of movements to to the characters that I'm going to be drawing, because even though again, even though I did some actions during my Peachtober process, I feel like my drawings, my illustrations still feel like kind of still, like they need more movement, and also my characters need like more feeling, I think. I mean, it's a good thing that I know these things, I guess, because I know now what I'll be working on. But yeah, it's going to be a new year. It's going to be more of practicing, and hopefully I'll have enough time because that's what I'm more afraid of, to not have like the enough time, because I also get distracted a lot. I think I need to focus more. Let's see how that goes. And I also want to keep on trying new materials. I want to explore more the acrylic brushes that I have. And also, I want to try some alcohol markers again, because this year I tried some and I like it. Even though they are of cheap quality, they are like good enough for me to keep on practicing. But I want to keep on trying them more. I also want to get better with the transitions of colors. But that's another thing that I have to keep on practicing, that it's color. I suck at color. Well, I think that I suck at color, maybe not too much. I have a little bit of a notion, because i I am a kind of graphic designer. I studied graphic design. So I feel like I have this knowledge in me that I can apply to my illustrations. And yeah, it is totally different to be a graphic designer and to be an illustrator. Um, you can see that not all the time, not all graphic designers know how to draw, and not all illustrators have the knowledge that a graphic designer has. Yeah, it's really different. But yeah, color, that's another thing that I'm struggling with, also with shadows and lighting, perspective, proportions. There's a lot of things that I'm struggling with. but it's okay. It's okay. It's a journey. I'm not. Of course, I'm having some goals. I want to reach some goals, but it's all about the journey and about learning and just to be kind to oneself, because this is not easy. For me, I have like work for like 8 years of my life, kind of in with my career as a graphic designer. But now I want a different path, and I'm so grateful. I'm so thankful for the people around me that supports me, and I just want to keep on doing this in my life. I have like that clear. um, I want to keep on drawing, and even though there are a lot of illustrators and a lot of people that are so talented out there, I just want to do my own stuff. And comparing, it's sometimes it's hard to not compare yourself with others, but I think it's possible to see others people work and just to get the motivation and inspiration from what they do. So yeah, it's just a thing that you just have to keep on doing, keep on practicing. Nobody, it's born with talent. That's a lie. It's a lot of study and a lot of effort that you have to make. So I'm happy with what's going to come. I'm so happy with what I'm doing right now, with what I've achieved this year. And yeah, there's a lot of things that I want to do. I also want to try to do some stamps, linoleum. I think that's the name of the technique, but I still don't have the material. But I need to not waste but to use. Yeah, I need to use the material that I already have, because I have a lot of things like colors and pencils and pastels and so on, but I need to use them first. I'm still not like married to one technique. Of course, I love watercolor, but let's see if watercolor it's going to be like my main media. I don't know. Everything can happen. There's a lot of possibilities out there.